Welcome to Infodome Tutorial Getting Started from Scratch. You'll create a database, forms, and report and share them with a user. You'll need a browser running Flash 10 and another email account for a user. Log in and let's get started. After you log in the Open Create dialog, click From Scratch and name the new database Companies and Contacts. Name the first table Companies. Click Add. Create your first field called Company. Click the Tab key twice. Name the second field Sector. Click the Tab key twice. And the third field we call Revenues. Click the Tab key once, and then the pull-down menu select Integer. You can now save the table. You've been in design mode for the table. Now you'll click the Data button to see the fields you've just created. Now we'll create another table called Contacts. We'll do the same thing. We'll create 3 fields and then see the fields in the table. First field will be Name, then Title, then the company. Save the table and click Data to see the fields in the table. Close both tables. Now we'll add 2 forms to add data to the table and a relational report. To create a new form, click the Forms icon and then the Add button. Name this form Companies. We'll add records to the Companies form and table. Choose Detail as the type, choose Companies as the data source, and we'll start adding records. You're in the Layout section of the form. You can move all fields to the form using that button and drag fields around for complete visual control. In design mode of the form, you'll now click Data so you can add records. Click the plus sign to add the first record. This company will be IBM, the sector will be business, with revenues of 104. You'll click the plus sign again to add the second record, Amazon, the consumer sector, with revenues of 19. Then you'll click the plus sign again to add the third and final company record to the table. This will be Dell, the sector's business, with revenues of 61. You can now close this form. We'll now create another form for the contacts. Name the form Contacts, and the records we create here will go into the Contacts table. Again, you'll choose Detail and Next for the type of form. This time you choose the Contacts table, and we'll drag out each field individually, Name, Title, and Company. Using the Visual Layout Editor, we can select all fields and the far top right button to align them left. Click the Data mode, and again you'll add 3 records, clicking the plus sign. The first record would be Sal Palmisano, the CEO of IBM. You click the plus sign again to add the second record. This will be Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. And after this is entered, you'll click the plus sign again to create the third record, which will be Michael Dell, CEO of Dell Computer. After finish, you can close this form. To create a new report, click the Reports icon and the Add button. Name this report Companies Report and click Add. Your first task is to select the report type, which will be columnar, and click Next. Then the data source, the Companies table, and click Next. You're in design mode of the report in the Layout task, and you can drag fields into the report. You'll notice that the records show even in design mode. This is helpful to see the report. We're missing the Contacts table. We'll need to create a relation, so add a relation called Companies, the company field Company, and then a Contacts table, the company field. Once you add the relation and return to the report, you'll see the Contacts table, and you can drag out fields from the Contacts table into the report. Note the blue triangles that appear for field labels. These are menus that let you group by sector, for example, or in revenues you can choose this to actually total the sum of revenues by group. You can also use it to sort. Choose the company field, sort ascending, and the companies will be sorted in ascending order. You can select a label, change the font type, style, make these reports beautiful using the font color palette. You can also select a field and narrow it or widen it or move it as you wish to get the report looking just the way you want while you're in design mode. Using the header and footer task, you can drag out the name of the report and the date into the header footer areas using the Control key. Select both areas, change the font to blue, for example, change the font to bold. Now click the button Generate Report, and you'll see the complete report that you've created. Go ahead and close both tabs. Now we'll share the forms and reports with a user. To create a new user, click the People icon and the Add button. Give this person a fictitious name and use the email that's different from your Infodome username email address. We're using a fictitious email address here. In the Rights pull-down menu, you'll see that Form Records is selected, and you can give the user the ability to view, edit, add, and delete records for both forms. If you pull down the menu again, you can select Reports and give the user the right to view and edit a report, and separately give the user the right to edit reports, create reports on their own. You can restrict certain fields that you don't want the user to see and click the Add button. After you click Add, the user is created and appears in the left panel. The user gets an email invitation link. They'll create a password and log in. When the user logs in, they have access to forms and reports. No tables or relations to confuse or potentially damage the database. The user can open a form, can add records, delete records, copy records to the clipboard, filter, and search. Here, searching for consumer shows 1 out of 3 records. They can end that search, add a new record. In this case, company target, the sector consumer, and revenues of 44. We'll close this form and open the Contacts form to add a new contact. Clicking the plus sign, the user will enter Martha Stewart for the title of advisor, and the company will be Target. The user can close this form and open the report, and the report will show in Generate mode the new record that was just added. Congratulations, you created a database from scratch.